We're ready.
Jai Sapadika Shishi Guru Gaur Chandraju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhanju Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Astaterasata Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Astaterasata Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Shri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Mission and Mat and Mission. Ki Jai. Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Jai. You're here just for the class in the morning program? You're such a darling. Haribo, fortunate person. And we can see that the remuneration for service is enthusiasm for service. And that feeling of enthusiasm is great, great benediction coming. It's coming directly. Haribol, you okay? Text number 27 of the 8th chapter of Antya Lila of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur
Bhakta Vrinda Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Text number 27. This is Ramachandra Puri criticizes the Lord. Ooh. So we found out yesterday that this Ramachandra Puri is very excited. He offended his own guru by criticizing him and giving him absurd advice when Madhavendra Puripad was about to depart from his pastimes in this world. And that even led to Mahaprabhu himself, who he's increasing, he's almost forcing everyone to eat so much, and then criticizing them for eating too much. Shkushka Brahma Gyani Nahi Krishnera Sambandha Sarvaloka Nindakare Nindate Nirbandha. One who is attached to dry speculative knowledge, has no relationship with Krishna. His occupation is criticizing Vaishnavas. Thus he is situated in criticism. So those who are engaged in Gyan, they are naturally envious to the devotees because they are trying to come out of the mundane world without any reverence or even acknowledgement of the Lord. And so those who are worshipping the Lord, they are thinking they're lower people. Srila Saraswati, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has explained in his Anubhasya that the word nirbandha indicates that Ramachandra Puri had a steady desire to criticize others. Impersonalist Mayavadis who have no relationship with Krishna, who cannot take to devotional service, and who simply engage in material arguments to understand Brahman, regard devotional service to Krishna as karma kanda, or fruitive activities, because they're thinking Krishna is just like a demigod or something. According to them, devotional service to Krishna is but another means for attaining dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Therefore, they criticize the devotees for engaging in material activities. They think that devotional service is maya, and that Krishna or Vishnu is also maya, so they're mayavads. They think everything's maya. Therefore, they're called mayavadis. Such a mentality awakens in a person who is offender to Krishna and his devotees. Ishvara puri gosai kare Sripada sevana swahaste karena mala utradi marjana. Ishvara Puri, the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, performed service to Madhavendra Puri, cleaning up his stool and urine with his own hand. So when a person becomes very, very old and are about to leave the world, they cannot control the bodily functions. And therefore Madhavendra Puri, showing this as part of normal bodily function. But Ishvara Puri was doing this type of seva to his guru. Nirantara Krishna Nama Karaya Smarana Krishna Nama Krishna Lila Shunaya Anukshana. Ishvara Puri was always chanting the holy name and pastimes of Lord Krishna for Madhavendra Puri to hear. In this way, he helped Madhavendra Puri remember the holy name and pastimes of Lord Krishna at the time of his death. Madhavendra Puri was already absorbed in these matters, but to give him assistance, this was a great service of Ishvara Puri. Tushtahanya Puritare Kaila Alingana Varadila Krishna Tomaro Hauka Premadana. Pleased with Ishvara Puri, Madhavendra Puri embraced him and gave him the benediction that he would be a great devotee and lover of Krishna. Sahaite Ishvara Puri Premera Sagara Ramachandra Puri Haila Sarva Nindakara. As Ishvara Puri became like an ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna, whereas Ramachandra Puri became a dry speculator and critic of everyone else. Mahad Anugraha Nigrahera Shakshi Dui Jane E Dui Dware Shikaila Jagajane. Ishvara Puri received the blessings of Madhavendra Puri, whereas Ramachandra Puri received a rebuke from him. Therefore, these two persons, Ishvara Puri and Ramachandra Puri, are examples of the objects of a great personality's benediction and punishment. Madhavendra Puri instructed the entire world by presenting these two examples. Jagadguru Madhavendra Kari Premadana E Shloka Paditemo Kaila Antardana. His Divine Grace Madhavendra Puri, the spiritual master of the entire world, thus distributed ecstatic love for Krishna. While passing away from the material world, he chanted the following verse. Aina dina dayadanata he maturanata kada balokshase hridayam tvadaloka kataram daita brahmanyati kim karom yaham. O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady O most beloved one, what shall I do now? Now this was the verse which Madhavendra Puri recited as he was departing from this plane. Such a, well, Shloka Krishna Prema Kare Upadesh Krishnera Virahe Bhaktera Bhava Vishesh. In this verse, Madhavendra Puri teaches how to achieve ecstatic love for Krishna. By feeling separation from Krishna, one becomes spiritually situated. In this verse, Madhavendra Puri teaches how to achieve ecstatic love for Krishna. By feeling separation from Krishna, one becomes spiritually situated. So how does that apply to us? These are super, super elevated divine emotional expressions. And we have no entrance into that. But when we feel, oh, I am becoming so elevated, or I am this, or I am that, or I am that, that is the opposite direction. It is in separation, in prayerfulness, in humility, in a feeling of not having, in a feeling of necessity, in a feeling of surrender, that then we can begin to actually have an actual substantial place in spiritual life. It is an extremely genuine thing. All this idea of, oh, I am this and I am that, that is not genuine. Humility is the basis of genuine spiritual life, of actual being situated in spiritual life. It's not just, oh, well, I'm going to be humble now and then later on I'm going to, It's always there. This is Madhavendra Puri actually expressing the heart of Srimati Radharani. She is feeling separated. So what will we feel? Pritivite ropanakari la premankura se premankura vriksha chaitanya takura. Madhavendra Puri sowed the seed of ecstatic love for Krishna within this material world and then departed. The seed later became a great tree in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prastave kahilun puri gosanyira niryana jai iha shune se bhadda bhagyavan. I have incidentally described the passing away of Madhavendra Puri. Anyone who hears this must be considered very fortunate. Ramachandra Puri aiche rahila nila chale virakta svabhava kabu rahe konastale. Thus Ramachandra Puri stayed at Jagannath Puri. As is customary for those in the renounced order, he would sometimes stay someplace and then go away. So Ramachandra Puri, the offender, the critic, the dry speculator, he stayed in Puri for some time. Animantrana bhikshakare nahika nirnaya anyara bhikshara stitira laina nischaya. There was no certainty of where Ramachandra Puri would take his meal, for he would do so even uninvited. So it's customary that in those days, when the sannyasis were just coming into a place, a respectable sannyasi would be given an invitation by a grihasta. This is normal behavior in that society. And if they did not receive an invitation, they would go begging somewhere or just fast. Nevertheless, he was very particular about keeping account of how others were taking their meals. So he would go to some householder's house who wasn't prepared. They didn't know he was coming. But he would criticize, or even other persons. Prabhura nimantrane lage kaudi charipana Kabukashishwara Govinda Kanatina Jana. To invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would cost 320 kaudis, or small conch shells. This would provide lunch for 3 people, including Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and sometimes Kashishwar and Govinda. Pratyaha Prabhura Bhiksha iti uttihaya Kehajadi Mulya Ane Charipana Nirnaya. Every day the Lord would take his meal at a different place, and if someone was prepared to pay for a meal, the price was fixed at only 4 panas. Jai Mahaprabhu Jai, Kirajuki Jai. So there was a fixed price. In other words, there was not a competition that I will spend so much money. Mahaprabhu didn't like that. So 4 panas was equal to 320 kodis, or small conch shells. That was the money at that time.
Conch shells?
Yeah, little conch shells. They were the monetary, the basis of, yeah.
The currency.
Currency, thank you. Prabhura stitiriti bhiksha sayana prayana Ramachandra Purikare Sarvanusandana. Ramachandra Puri concerned himself with gathering all sorts of information about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was situated, including his regulative principles, his lunch, his sleep, and his movements. Prabhurayate kaguna sparshite narila chidra chahi bule kan ha chidra na paila. Because Ramachandra Puri was interested only in finding faults, he could not understand the transcendental qualities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His only concern was finding faults, but still he could not find any. Sanyasi hanya kare mishtana bhakshana ebogehaya kaiche indriya varana. At last he found a fault, but it wasn't a fault, but he could at least say that it was a fault. He could manage that. How can a person in the renounced order eat so many sweetmeats? He said, if one eats sweets, controlling the senses is very difficult. Einindakari kahe sarvalokastane. Adar kare badai sambrahme. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that Ramachandra Puri was criticizing him before everyone, but whenever Ramachandra Puri came to see him, the Lord offered him respects with great attention. Akadina pratakale aila prabhuraga uttara. One day Ramachandra Puri came in the morning to the abode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Seeing many ants, he said something to criticize the Lord. Ratra vatra aikshavam ashitena pipilika sancharanti aho viraktanam sanyasinam imam indriya lalasheti Pruvam utaya gata. Last night there was sugar candy here, he said. Therefore ants are wandering about. Alas, This renounced sannyasi is attached to sense gratification. After speaking this way, he got up and left. Prabhu paramparaya ninda karyachena shravana ebe shakshat shunilena kalpita nindana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had heard rumors about Ramachandra Puri's blasphemy, and now he directly heard his fanciful accusation. Fanciful means imaginary, born of his imagination. Ramachandra Puri could find no faults in the character of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for he is situated in a transcendental position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ants are generally found everywhere. But when Ramachandra Puri saw ants crawling in the abode of the Lord, he took it for granted that they must have been there because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been eating sweetmeats. Thus he discovered imaginary faults in the Lord and then left. Sahaje papilika sarvatra bedaya tahate tarka utanya dosha lagaya. Ants generally crawl about here, there, and everywhere. But Ramachandra Puri, imagining faults, criticized Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by alleging that there had been sweetmeats in his room. Shunitaha prabhura shanko chabaya mane govinde bolanya kichukahena vachane. After hearing this criticism, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doubtful and apprehensive. Therefore he called Govinda and instructed him as follows. So Mahaprabhu is always concerned with the betterment and welfare of others. Therefore, he thought, if Ramachandra Puri is going to spread this kind of gossip about me, then the people will have doubt in me, and that will be very bad for them. So I must rectify this. Aji haite bhiksha amara eta niyamas, pinda bogera eka chaudi pancha gadara vyanjana. From today on it will be a rule that I shall accept only 1/4 of a pot of Lord Jagannath's prasadam and 5 gandas worth of vegetables, which is nothing. Iha bai adika arakichuna aniva adika anile ama etana dekiva. If you bring any more than this, you will not see me here anymore. Shakala Vaishnava Govinda Kahe Eibat Shuni Shabara Mate Jai Chahaila Vijagat. Govinda relaying this message to all the devotees. When they heard it, they felt as if their heads had been struck by thunderbolts. Ramachandra Puri Ke Shabaya Deya Tirashkara E Papishta Ashi Prana Laila Sabara. All the devotees condemned Ramachandra Puri, saying, this sinful man has come here and taken our lives. They couldn't stand to see Mahaprabhu fasting like that. Edine aka vipra kaila nimantrana aka chodi bat pancha gadara vyanjana e matra govinda kaila angikara mataya ga mare vipra kare hahakara. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Ki Jai. Very pretty garland. That day, a Brahmin extended an invitation to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Govinda accepted only 5 gandas worth of vegetables and 1/4 of a pot of rice, the Brahmin, in great despair, struck his head with his hand and cried, "Alas, alas!" Se bata vyanjana prabhu ardeka kaila je kichura hila taha govinda paila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only ate half of the rice and vegetables, and whatever remained was taken by Govinda. Ardashana Karena Prabhu Govinda Ardashana Shava Bhakta Gana Tave Chadila Bhojana. Thus both Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Govinda ate only half of the food that they needed. Because of this, all the other devotees gave up eating. Govinda Kashishwari Prabhu Kaila Agyapana Tuhe Anyatra Magikara Udara Bharana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Govinda and Kashishwar, you may both take alms elsewhere to fill your bellies. E Rupa Mahaduke Dina Katagela Shuni Ramachandra Puri Prabhu Pasha Aila. In this way some days passed in great unhappiness. Hearing of all of this, Ramachandra Puri went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Pranamakari Prabhu Kaila Charana Vandana Prabhure Kahaye Kichu Hashiya Vachana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his obeisances to Ramachandra Puri, worshipping his feet. Then Ramachandra Puri smiled and spoke to the Lord. Sanyashira Dharmanahe Indriya Tarpana Jaiche Taiche Kare Matra Udara Bharana. Ramachandra Puri advised, it is not the business of a sannyasi to gratify his senses. He should fill his belly some way or other. Tomare Kshina Deki Shunikara Adarshana E Shushka Vairagyanai Sanyashira Dharma. I have heard that you have cut your eating in half. Indeed, I see that you are skinny. Such dry renunciation is also not the religion of a sannyasi. So basically, we want to criticize the Lord for this. I have to instruct you again. Jata yoga udarabare nakare vishaya bhoga sannyasira tabishuddhaya jnana yoga. A sannyasi eats as much as necessary to maintain his body. He does not enjoy satisfying his senses materially. Thus a sannyasi becomes perfect in his spiritual advancement in knowledge. Nyatya shnatopi yogosti nachaikantam anashnata nachati svapnasilasya jagrato naiva charjuna yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasya karmashu yukta swapna vabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Excuse me. Lord Krishna said, my dear Arjuna, that's right. One cannot perform mystic yoga if he eats more than necessary, or needlessly fasts, sleeps and dreams too much, or does not sleep enough. One should eat and enjoy his senses as much as necessary. One should properly endeavor to execute his duties, and one should regulate his sleep and wakefulness. Thus one can become freed from material pains by executing mystic yoga. And this is a quotation from the Bhagavad Gita. Prabhu kahe agya balaka mui shishya tumara mora shiksha deha e bhagya amara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then humbly submitted, I am just like an ignorant boy, and I am like your disciple. It is my great fortune that you are instructing me.
So humble.
Atta Shuni Ramachandra Puri Uttigela Bhaktagana Adar Shanakare Puri Gosai Shunila. Hearing this, Ramachandra got up and left. He also heard from various sources that all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were eating half as much as usual. Aradina Bhaktaganasa Paramananda Puri Prabhupashe Nivedila Danya Vinayakari. The next day, Paramananda Puri and the others devotees approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great humility and submission. So Paramananda Puri is also a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Ramachandra Puri Hai Ninduka Svabhava Tara Bole Anachadi Ki Bahabe Laba. Paramananda Puri said, my god brother Ramachandra Puri is by nature a bad critic. If you give up eating because of his words, what will be the profit? Purira Svabhava Jateshta Ahara Karanya Yena Kaya Tare Kaoyaya Jatana Kariya. It is the nature of Ramachandra Puri that first he lets one eat as much as desired, and if one does not eat more than necessary, with great attention he makes him eat more. Kaoyanya punatare karaye nindana ata anakao tomara kata achedana. In this way he induces one to eat more than necessary, and then he directly criticizes them, saying, "You eat so much. How much money do you have in your treasury?" So this we can stop here and continue to hear what Paramananda Puri is saying to Mahaprabhu. He's submitting some happy advice to Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu is Mahaprabhu, and he must do what he knows is to be done by himself. He's fully independent.
Devi.
Any questions about this?
Yeah.
Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Yeah.
Since Mahaprabhu is not only the Lord, but he's also Srimati Radharani, does he still have the mood of only the Lord, that he does whatever he wants?
Yes. There's two things. He is instructing by his activities, and then there's his internal feeling, which he's also distributing. But he's also acting as guru. So he is doing many things to instruct us, and he's doing them according to his own will. He's always independent. Mahaprabhu shows many different kinds of qualities, actually. In his internal existence, there's so many moods there that we cannot even really understand. But in many ways, in other ways, he's acting in so many instructive ways, and he's fully independent in his behavior. He's not under any kind of law action. But acting as guru, he's showing different kinds of etiquette. But it's impossible to fully understand Mahaprabhu. You know what I mean? Of course, we know.
So
The Lord is giving us the understanding that what we will have, He is giving us. But nobody knows the Lord completely.
So when he's taking instruction from his guru, is he just like taking the etiquette of being a disciple and not?
Yeah, He's showing that, but He's also feeling that, because we know that we know this because when Mahaprabhu met Ishwar Chandra Puri in Gaya, he had gone to Gaya to offer pinda, what's called pinda, to offer prasadam to his departed father, Jagannath Mishra, and in this way following all these different things. But when he met Ishwar Chandra Puri there, Ishwar Puri, and took Harinam from him, and was then the floodgates opened. And from that point on, he began to mix with the Vaishnavas. Because before, he was also a logician and a grammarian. And he was showing that pastime. And not only was he a logician and grammarian, but famous all over India. He could defeat anyone, easily, even as a child. So he established himself as actually an incredible scholar. So no one is going to say, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But that pastime of accepting initiation from Ishwarpur is really touching. It's very sweet. And then he came home, and the devotees are seeing him walking along the streets of, in Mayapur. And then they usually were like kind of try to avoid him because he'd always try to get them into some kind of argument about logic or grammar or something. And they were always saying, oh, if only that Nimai Pandit would become a Vaishnava. Oh, it would be so glorious. But then he came up to them and put his arm around their necks and just weeping. I got a glimpse of Krishna and now I can't find him. Like that. Very amazing pastime. And we can't understand them with we're hearing about them, but we can't enter fully into the emotions of Mahaprabhu and his Parshat. What we know is what we are to know right now. And what will come later will come later.
After reading the verses in the Upadesamrta, can we read the commentary of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on the second verse that is at the back of the book, is what Bimal Krishna Prabhu was mentioning yesterday.
Which verse?
The second verse. He said that it's in the back of the book, and that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives commentary. And it's super interesting. It talks about misapplication of rules and how to know where we're at.
In Upadesamrta.
Upadesamrta.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. You said Brahma Samhita.
Did I?
Or maybe you didn't. That's what I heard somehow or other.
Maybe we should read Brahma Samhita.
We've done 2 whole studies of Brahma Samhita already, and they were posted on Facebook. Now they're gone, but Lekha captured them before they went away. So we have them, but I'm fully into doing it again.
Jai.
Brahma Samhita.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not certainly not avoiding the commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I just don't want to overwhelm the class, because that is a very big book. So I've just decided I'm going to read. But of course, we can read them if someone recommends them, and I did forget. If you want to point those out, we can do that today.
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you, Bimal. I actually forgot about that. And I was thinking, why would the commentary by Bhaktivinoda Thakur on the second verse of the Brahma Samhita be in the back of the book? And I was like, what? Anyway, that's wonderful, yeah. Okay. So let's chant Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad. A. Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Now coming to Upadesamrita, you have your paper?
No. Thank you, Didi.
I heard a class last night, Srila Guru Maharaj was quoting from the Upadesamrita this. Oh yeah, that's Krishna Nama Charisari Stitapya Vidya. He was quoting that in this verse about the whole meaning in that talk. Okay, Sri Upadesamrita ki jai, Sri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Jai Sadgoswami Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki
Jai.
jai. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam jiva vegam udara pasta vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dira sarvam apimam prativim sasisyat. The urge of speech, the urges of the mind and anger, the urge of the tongue, the urges of the belly and genitals, the sober person. Jai Mahaprabhu, beautiful Mahaprabhu. The sober person who can control all these urges can instruct the entire world. Okay, together. Achahara sprayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha chanasangas chaloyam cha
Satirvati vinasati.
Sorry. Then, you want to read the next one, Prabhu?
Over-accumulation, over-endeavor, unnecessary talk, misapplication of rules, association with non-devotees, and fickle-mindedness. Devotion is destroyed by these 6 faults.
Utsaha nishchaya darya tatat karma pravartana sangatyagat sato vidde sadhya bhakti vina prasidyati. They won't be able to hear you online.
I can.
Yeah, they...
Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Enthusiasm, conviction, perseverance, engaging in favorable activities, giving up bad association, following the conduct of the great souls. Devotion is nourished by the 6 qualities.
Very good. Tadati pratigratnati guhyam makyati pruchati bhungte bhojayate chaiva sadvidim pritilakshanam. Giving and accepting gifts, discussing and inquiring about confidential matters, and giving and partaking of foods are the 6 characteristics of love. And of course, these confidential matters are in relation to devotional matter, life, devotional practice, devotional realization, according to who is doing it. Krishneti asya kiritam manasadriyeta Dikshasti chet pranati bhischa bhajantamisham Shushushaya bhajana vigyamananyamanya Nindari shunyam hiddam ichitam sangalabdya.
Honor within the mind those who chant Krishna's name. Honor. Is that correct how I'm pronouncing honor?
Honor, yeah.
Honor with obeisance.
Obeisance.
Honor with obeisance those who are initiated and serve the Lord. And honor with service those who are expert in devotion, who are exclusively devoted, whose hearts are free from the duality of criticizing and praising others, and who are the most desirable association. Ipsita Sangalapya.
Dushtai sabhava janite vapushascha doshena prakritatvam iha bhakta janasya pasyet Gangam vasam nakalu buddhapena panke brahmadravadvam apagachati niradharmai.
Do not consider devotees in this world mundane because of faults in their nature and body. The water of the Ganges never loses its spiritual nature because of bubbles, foam, and mud, which are natural in water.
And again and again and again, we are seeing this. These verses are extremely important for us. They are like the scaffolding. They're like the what is holding up our devotional practice. What do I want to say? What do you call it when you're building a house and the frame? They're the frame holding everything up. Sat Krishna Nama Charitari Sitapya Vidya Pito Patapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kinvadaram Anudinam Kalu Saiva Justa Svadvikramad Bhavati Tad Gadamulahantri. Sita. Okay. Syat Krishna Nama. Syat Krishna Nama. Okay. The sugar candy of Krishna's name, pastimes, and so forth. Find sugar candy in it word for word. Oh, Sita. Sitapya Vidya. Sita, the sugar candy. The sugar candy of Krishna's names, pastimes, and so forth is not relishable to a tongue severely afflicted by the jaundice of ignorance. Alas! Certainly, however, when it is constantly honored with faith, this candy gradually becomes relishable and eradicates the disease. And now number 8. Tannama rupa charitari sukirtananu smricho kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan brajeta anuragi jaganugami kalam nayedakilam ityupadesha sharam.
Engage the tongue and mind in the gradual process of chanting and remembering Krishna's names, forms, pastimes, and so forth. Reside in Braja and spend all your time as a follower of those who have deep attachment to Krishna. This is the essence of all instructions.
Upadesha Shar. It means the essence of all instruction. Shar means the highest or the best or the essence in this case. Okay, so we'll continue to read the commentary on 8. Oh, and then just in the after a short time, just read a little bit more here.
Bhima Krishna Prabhu said,
yeah, then I will read that.
He said, you don't have to read it during class. I just thought it was very interesting and gave me a different perspective on Niyamagraha. And
no, I'd like to read it in class.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. All right.
Okay, thanks, Prabhu. So where is that exactly? If you can tell me the page. I always want to understand this word, actually. It's a very important word, I know. And it is very fine. We have to be finely discerning in our spiritual life. It's not just some big blob of information. So we want to understand these kind of things very well. And so I would like to read that. This has lost its... So I think we were at the top of this page. Anyavilashita Shunyam, I believe was the last thing we read, but I'm not too sure, but I think I'm going to start here anyway. But what page is that, Prabhu? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay. When you don't know? Did you read it though? You read it. No, you didn't read it. Okay.
No, I didn't read it.
Okay, Bhima Prabhu, when you get a chance, maybe not right, today or sometime, to I don't know, is that, it's just in the commentary of the second verse?
Sriman Krishna Prabhu mentioned this in the back of the book. It's after Bhagavan Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives a commentary on Radha Kunda.
Oh, is it just in the definitions? It may be just in the definitions.
Maybe.
Niyamagraha. Literally negligence of rules and obsession with rules. Misapplication of rules, disregarding the rules meant for one stage or following the rules meant for another stage. Obsession with worldly rules and negligence of applicable rules regarding bhakti, but that is not necessarily from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. These are just... Anyways, yes, I would like to...
Did you find it?
Okay, whenever. Okay, so now we're on page 196, Krishnanushilanam. So, Anyavilasita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhanavritam Anukuyena Krishnanushilanam Bhakti Uttama And that is, Srila Rupa Goswami is giving his definition of pure devotion. And now Srila Guru Maharaj is going to go through and explain these words. Krishnanushilanam. Culture Krishna in any way. Contact him by any means and culture him. Speak about him, hear about him, and serve him. What you do does not matter so much, but whatever you do must be anyabilashita shunyam, free from the fleeting desires that come along at any and all times without rhyme or reason. Right? Isn't that the nature of material desires? They just come flying into our brain with no... They're like bats. They just go flying around. And there's no reason for any of it. I mean, if you really think about it. It doesn't have any connection with some kind of reason. It's just, oh, I want that. I mean, we can all testify about this. Then jnana karma dhyanavartam. Karma means systematic, moral, God-touching activity, which is recommended by the revealed truth and considered something common in our stage. A certain percentage of devotion is there, but it is more involved with the objects of this anomalous world. Gyan means so karma means religious. So there's some connection with God there, but it's mostly concerned with mundanity. Not gross mundanity. I mean, not sinful. It's not sinful, but it is still material. And in that sense, it's all sinful. But it's not grossly sinful, it's religious. It has some connection with God. Jnana means knowledge and encourages us to be aloof, to be free from the material atmosphere's mortal contact. We must go above death, otherwise we cannot be happy. To somehow get out of the difficulty of death is the be-all and end-all of Gyan. Karma and Gyan are both negative, undesirable engagements. Adi means saitilia, idleness, apathy. And also we don't want idleness. Guru Maharaj said, don't be useless. Krishnanushilanam must be independent of all these interests. No representation of the covers over the soul should remain with it. So Srila Rupa Goswami is giving us the definition of pure devotional service. It doesn't have those qualities of karma, gyan, or sitilia, idleness. The most important thing is last. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Try to withdraw from the camp of those who are opposed to Lord Krishna's pleasure. There is a party that is satisfying, trying to satisfy Krishna. To make Krishna's service more intense, an opposite party is necessary, and there is competition against them. Try to avoid that opposition camp and follow the direct service camp. I remember hearing this talk about, go to the direct service camp, not the competitor camp. And I was thinking, oh, okay. I mean, that I would be in any, I don't know. It just was very touching that Guru Maharaj was giving us this warning. Very sweet. Krishnanushilanam, cultivation of Krishna, means service to Krishna. Our normal relation with the higher existence can only be that of service, not otherwise. So we must take that path and go ahead by any means. It may be calculative, but eventually we will come to such a stage that it will be automatic. It may be calculative now, because we have to make some calculation. We're trying to come out of so many different kinds of illusion. But eventually that will become spontaneous raga. And we are trying to worship that raga platform. Pujala raga bata gaura bange. Matar harijana kirtana range. So we are trying to engage in our kirtan and with the other devotees, and we're worshiping that spontaneous platform. We will find within us that it becomes spontaneous love, a river of love, loving service, that it is our own food. We don't need food in return. That love for Krishna is our food. Our food, our clothing, our shelter, everything will be there. We will have no other necessity outside of that. Oh, wonderful is that. We will find wholesale 24-hour engagement with everything there in every aspect of our life. All engaged. Our entire time, space, and person, all three will be absorbed fully, swallowed by rasa personified with his own group. Haribol. When migrants come and from one land to you know what? I'll just resume there. This is a good place to resume tomorrow. Jai Sri Upadesamrta ki jai. Sri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Reciting the verses and the translations every day does take up a good part of the class time dedicated to Upadesamrita, but I think it's important to be hearing these every day. And also try to spend some time during the day memorizing these verses. Time is going by. We can't put it in our pocket. So at the end of some time, we should have, done something and spend a little time memorizing these verses as possible. Not everyone likes to memorize or can. That's not necessarily there with everyone. But it is possible to develop that by practice to one extent or another. And to have these things suddenly come up in our memory is very wonderful. As we know. Haribol. So Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Haribol. Jai Sri Rupa Goswami ki jai. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Jai Shri Giraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Astajar Siddha Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Astajar Siddha Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Shri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And today is Adivas for the festival tomorrow of Srila Guru Maharaj's disappearance. Adivas Mahamahotsav Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupaniga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Laharidas Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Sadgoswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Hapaniya Dham Ki Jai. This is the appearance day of Srila Guru Maharaj. Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Kol Kartal Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, all the mats worldwide Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari
Haribo Jai, Srimati Shri Lekha Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Didi, would you like to read the comments of the devotees?
Okay.
So, Kumkum Didi is here saying good morning, Dandavat.
Good morning, Devi.
To all the devotees. Bimal Krishna Prabhu saying Dandavat.
Dandavat Prabhu.
And maybe we didn't read what he was talking about. What we read maybe was just the definition of
Yes,
of
it
the
was.
word. But there is another page where Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes for 4 pages about each fault that destroyed devotion.
But it's in the back of the book.
In the back of the book. He doesn't remember if it's 381 or 281. But we can do that.
We should find that. I really do. Now I've become. I actually proofread this whole book several times, but I've forgotten.
Then Ganga Lila Didi said that she mentioned the word scaffolding when you were saying frame in a house.
Scaffolding, yeah. I was thinking scaffolding also. Thank you, Didi.
And then Kyo is expressing his gratitude and sending his obeisances to you.
Aww.
And
good morning, Kyo.
And yeah. And also he's asking if you could mail him a copy of Home Comfort.
I can't. Oh.
And what else? What time is tomorrow the festival?
6.
Starts at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock?
That's what RT is.
Well, the RT's at 6 o'clock, and then the program will begin after that.
Okay. I think we should set up the live for the RT.
Yeah, for sure. I think so too.
If that's okay, bro.
Yeah. If that's possible, that's a good idea. Okay, Jai Gurudev. Jai Dandavat, Dandavat.
And tonight's the Bhagavad Gita class. Let them know.
Oh, tonight Bhagavad Gita class,
Yep.
starting at 6:30. Be there or be square.
Ki Jai.
Haribol.